Welcome to Business and Money Management, a really important, but yet maybe not the most exciting part of your Mary Kay business because it's about tracking and it's about having clarity in your money. So you may come into this business with really strong business management and money management skills. I know I came into this business without very much money, and the only thing I was good at was playing the banking game. So I want to give you some step-by-step tips to really being clear and really being in a powerful position with your money. If you've listened to all the Voxer messages that come out as a new consultant, you know that I recommend having a separate Mary Kay checking or savings account that has a debit card that you can use to order your products as you need them. You may also have signed up for ProPay, which gives you another debit card and access to the money in your ProPay account. And you may have a Mary Kay Chase Visa card or another credit card that you're using to finance your Mary Kay inventory or possibly a bank loan. So you have those pieces of the puzzle. Well, the first and most important thing about money management is that selling the product gives you money to manage. And so this business is entirely premised on the fact that selling product is the first step in managing your money. It's not intended to come from your personal budget, from your full-time job, from your husband's income. It's designed to come from your Mary Kay business. And so that is the most important step. If you come in with inventory, then it's really important to be holding appointments because you are cash flowing some of the profits from your sales back to pay off that initial investment and having that benefit of carrying product on hand. Now the third P that we talk about, so we have Perfect Empower Start, Pearls of Sharing, and the third is placing your first order. So whether you placed a minimum order of 225 wholesale or you ordered a profit level store at a star consultant level, having product on hand and placing that first order is super important. It determines the next steps you take as well. So if you have filled out that questionnaire that comes as part of the Ready, Set, Sell brochure, it gave you an indication of how much product on hand would be appropriate for you to have at the activity level you're working at. My rule of thumb is if you are at a party and you consistently have maybe 5 to 7 items not on hand in the kind of most common categories of products ordered. So for example, if someone orders 5 Bella Blair perfumes, I would not say your inventory is out of balance. I don't have 5 Bella Blair perfumes on hand. But if you have 5 or more items that you don't have on hand, that might be an indication if you're continuing to hold that number of parties consistently that you need to increase your inventory level. If it's 1 or 2 items here or there, it's after a couple weeks of holding parties, then you're probably at the perfect amount of product to have on hand. And that amount can vary. I know I came in as a Ruby Star consultant 17 years ago, and as I started holding appointments, I needed to increase that amount. Now, 17 years later, at the customer base and activity level that I work with, I have almost quadruple that amount of product on hand, and sometimes that doesn't feel like enough. So it changes as your business grows, but it is a unique decision based on your business model, which has to do with activity level, financial resources, and comfort zone. Remember, Mary Kay does have a 90% buyback guarantee, but you want to have that amount of product on hand that motivates you out the door, doesn't paralyze you on the couch. And so that's the first thing in terms of money management. As you sell the product, the cost of the product is approximately 50% of what you've spent on the product. So let's use a TimeWise cleanser, which right now today retails for $20. The cost of that product is $10. That's considered the wholesale cost. $20 is the retail cost, which is what you charge your customers, and then there's the sales tax on top of it. Sales tax varies county by county, state by state, but you pay the sales tax on the full retail amount. In the current zip code that I live in, sales tax is 5.5%. So I multiply 20 by 0.055. It's $1.10. And so my cost to Mary Kay is $11.10. I collect $21.10 from my customer, and I keep the $10 difference. Now, in the cash flow process of your business, as you're out holding facials and parties and getting reorders, you will find that there's probably between 5 and 10% of that 50% that you're going to want to set aside to cover expenses that you're going to have in your business. These expenses are going to be things like sponge tip applicators, the trays, and the washcloths that you use at your parties. It might be the preferred customer program gift with purchase that average about $4 on a $40 reorder. And I'll talk more about that in other educations. The point is that out of that $10 profit, about $1 is going to go into your Mary Kay account and stay there to cover these other expenses. You're also going to have maybe upcoming conferences to attend, and you want to continue to sell the products so that you're adding to not just your inventory and paying off your inventory, but you're cash flowing those events as well from your business. One thing that early on someone shared with me is that when you treat a business like a business, it's a business. And treating it like a business is about managing your money, about holding appointments consistently, about attending education, about treating it like a business, like any other business that you might do business with. Now, you can have your Mary Kay business be a source of wholesale product, and that is a great way to maybe save yourself some money, but you're probably not going to be adding a significant amount to your family's budget. You could also treat Mary Kay like a hobby. And there's a lot of great hobbies out there. Some people golf, some people play tennis, some people do scrapbooking. Those are all great hobbies. The important thing to know about a hobby is that they do not make you extra money. They bring you enjoyment, maybe through travel, time with girlfriends, loving the product because it builds your self-esteem, giving you a social outlet that's outside of your friends and family and your children. But it's a hobby. And so as a hobby, it's not going to cash flow in the same way as running it as a business would. Whatever level you choose to build your business at is so important to be right for you. What I'm trying to say is if you're happy, I am cheering for you the loudest that you are happy. And that's what's most important. Building your business at whatever level you want, that's your decision. Mary Kay has one requirement outside of buying the starter kit, and that's $225 right now in wholesale orders every 12 months. That's it. So beyond that is entirely up to you. But let's go back to money and business management and talk a little bit about how to do that. You'll find some attachments that go with this. So one is a business tracking register that takes each and every sale and breaks it down into that what we call 60-40 split. So you're reordering product to replace what you've sold, you're covering the business expenses you may have, and you're having a 40% profit. There's also a great debt repayment or inventory repayment sheet that goes with this. And I shouldn't really call it debt because it's an investment. Think about investing money in the stock market. This doubles your money when you sell it. It's not like buying groceries or a couch where it depreciates in value or you eat it up and it's gone. It increases in value when you sell it. And so to manage that inventory repayment, you want to decide up front what's most important. Can I take 100% of my profits and put them back into paying off the inventory? Do I want to split it up? For me, I needed cash when I came into this business to be able to not be living paycheck to paycheck and be able to pay our bills. And so there was a percentage that went back into the business to pay off that initial investment. And then there was a percentage that I used to put in our family's checking account. And honestly, you want to take money from your Mary Kay checking account or savings account and put it into your personal checking or savings account. You don't want to mingle those two together because someone might see that you've got an extra $500 in your checking account and wow, go buy a new TV. That is called embezzlement because you're taking and spending money in an area that hasn't been designated based on a sound business model, which is what we refer to as the 60-40 rule. So as you are selling product and you are repaying your inventory and you're paying yourself, you can set up a schedule based on an activity level that you want to maintain to do that over a period of time. You'll see that as Linda Tupin's debt repayment schedule. And that gives you a really clear picture of the activity level, the repayment, and the paying yourself, all flowing together. Now, because it's different for each and every one of you listening to this video, we can sit down and work those numbers just for you. So you can decide within a 90-day, 6-month, a year-long, whatever it needs to be for you, repayment plan so that you can have the balance of being able to pay yourself, pay back your inventory purchase, and also continue to keep an amount of product on hand that's appropriate for your business. Now, as your business grows, you might find that some of your profits are going to go back into buying a little bit more product to have on hand. I know that happens for me occasionally when I'm like, okay, 5 eye makeup removers is not enough to have on hand. I need to have an additional amount, and so then I can grow that piece of my business and my inventory a little bit more. So money management is something that you'll come back to again and again. It's often just about keeping track of the numbers. So you have your weekly accomplishment sheet, and there's a how-to attachment as well that takes you to Mary Kay InTouch under business tools and walks you step by step through recording your business activity for the week. And it may even include just investment of time. So if you're at a success meeting or you make an hour of booking calls, include that on your accomplishment sheet. It creates that complete picture of the amount of time you're investing in your business, not just the time you're out holding parties. Because the other activities, the booking calls, the education, that all supports being able to do that, but it creates a really clear picture of exactly how much time you're investing and what you're getting out in return. Your weekly accomplishment sheets go from Sunday to Saturday. I love, 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 love to have them in my email inbox. I get a notification from Mary Kay by noon on Monday. You've wrapped the week up, you've totaled your sales, and you can move into the new week. And one thing I've heard is a tracked number grows. So when you know how much you're selling and you know what your activity level has been, you can increase that through the clarity of knowing, oh, I had a $200 week because I had a facial and a couple of reorders. I'd love to have a $500 week. What if I added a party to my facial and my reorders? That could create that type of sales because you know that. So you have that piece. A track number grows, and you cannot go where you do not know. So if you're not sure how to create that type of income, this gives you clarity in knowing. So your weekly accomplishment sheet is a super important tracking tool. The other thing I strongly suggest is tracking your expenses as well and doing it week by week and month by month. Again, business expenses are tax deductions, but they still come out of your profits. So if you go to OfficeMax, I do love OfficeMax. Do you love OfficeMax? And decide that you're going to buy paper and markers and pens and a new printer, and you take money out of your profit account, you absolutely can. It's a tax deduction, but then that isn't money that you can put into your family's account because you've spent it on business expenses. So you want to be careful in terms of what you're spending your money on and making sure it aligns with the goals you have for your business and for your family's budget, so that you aren't spending it on markers and colored paper and things like that when you maybe don't need those things. The same thing is true with ordering what's called Section 2. These are the sales aids and supplies that come with your starter or from Mary Kay. So Section 1 is product to sell. Section 2 are all the samples and supplies. Here's the thing. When you order consistently, you do not need to stockpile this product. You may need to order anywhere from 3 to 5% of your order. So for example, if you've ordered $600 wholesale of product, 5% of $600 wholesale is about $30. And so that's the amount that you want to keep your Section 2 below, so that you are ordering in alignment with the amount of product that you're ordering. Because if you're ordering samples, it's because you're out holding appointments, and then you do need some more supplies. You do not need to order 50 samples of every single eyeshadow color. They come in sheets of 18, and as you continually reorder, you can add to some of those samples, and you don't need to have hundreds of them on hand. You can always say, oh, we'll save that for your second appointment. Thanks so much for letting me know you'd love to try Tuscan Rose. I'll get it on my next order so you can try it. The other thing to keep in mind when it comes to Section 2 is often you can use the full-size retail product much longer and at a much better cost, because it obviously is wholesale for you. Plus, it counts towards your star consultant status. It counts towards all the contests that go on in Mary Kay, whereas there's no prize for ordering the most Section 2. It's just samples. And so keep that to a minimum and use full-size product when at all possible. So tracking your expenses is important. Tracking your income is important because it creates that clarity. And when someone asks you how much you're making, you can answer that question. So those are some tips on business and money management. Most importantly, like so many other things in this business, it's setting aside small amounts of time every few days or at the end of the week or the beginning of the new week and entering all that information so you can close out that previous week and move into the new week. So that is a little bit about wealth accumulation, financial management, business management, and I just appreciate you listening. This is the last of the 4 videos that I have put together for you, so thank you so, so much. And let me know that you've watched all 4 of these or attended our 4 Mondays or Tuesdays, depending on where you live, of New Consultant Education, and you will get an awesome prize from me. Thanks so much for listening.